So it was, I was in Rusinga doing IGCC year 9, 3 years ago. And I had just done my PE exam for athletics, sprinting. And I didn't know I could sprint, by the way. But I just picked it because I thought that it would be easy to do or something. So I do my race and I managed to clock a time of 12.02 seconds. I didn't know Bolt's record time before that, and my teacher told me, do you know how fast you run for a guy who hasn't trained at all? So I went home that day and I was really excited. And the first person I wanted to tell this news was my father. So I did call him, and he did pick up. So he picks up the phone and he was like, yes, Tendo, how may I help you? And I told him, Dad, guess who's 2 seconds slower than Usain Bolt? Now from that quiet voice of, yes, Tendo, how may I help you? It changed to, what? Are you serious? I could tell that he was in a meeting because his voice, when he picked up the phone, his voice was very low. But he didn't care who was around him, and he embraced himself and he expressed himself. And yes, this is my father.
Thank you, Tendo.
So love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. These are all traits that I see in my father. Now, maybe some of you are thinking, I'm just praising him so that I can get money to go for the dinner tonight, which I may need, by the way.
Yeah, you're going to get.
But I'll give you another look at this and tell you what my friends think of my father. So just 2 days ago, it was on Thursday, I was at home with my friend Brian Kibos, and we were sitting in the sitting room just talking. And my father comes home from work, and of course he's joyous, he's always happy, he's always positive. And he says hi to us, and we have this dog called Kifi at home, who's very naughty, very energetic. So, and he gets really excited when one of us come home. So he sees my dad coming home, he slowly walks to the back where we put our shoes and steals a slipper, and now comes back looking at my dad with his head down, taunting him to play with him. Now my dad, okay, I'm used to this, so my dad starts running around the whole sitting room, chasing after this dog with a slipper in the mouth. So to me, I'm like, that's normal for me. But I look at my friend, and he's like, is this a 51-year-old chasing a dog around the sitting room and dining room? To me, that was normal, because the night before, I had my dad at 11 p.m. running outside, chasing after that same dog. And I told him this story then, and he said, so that's how the neighbors actually hear me when I'm running outside. And I just looked at him and told him, you weigh 100 kgs. You can be heard from 5 miles away. Now, another instance when I've been told something positive about my dad, I was walking to Yaya to get a matatu to go to school in town. And on the way there, someone stops me. I knew him from church. I recognized him from church, but I didn't really know who he was. And he told me, I was in a rush. I didn't want to be late for class. So I needed to speed the conversation up. Not being rude. But yeah, so he tells me, hi, of course, what are you doing? I told him, I'm in a rush, I'm going to school. He said, just give me 1 minute of your time. And he told me, do you know your father is the king of film in Nairobi, in Kenya, actually? I'm like, in my head, I'm just like, my father? the guy who pays rent for the house and pays for my school fees and chases dog around the estate. And to me, it didn't really mean much, but okay, it meant a lot. But I'd never thought of it from that perspective, that my father is actually the king of film in Kenya. I still don't look at it like that. He's still my father at the end of the day. Now, it's not always fun and games with my father. I have disappointed him quite a few times. For example, when I got suspended in school, from school actually. When I failed my exams. And even, I remember a story in 2007, when it was post-election violence. We had gone to Mombasa to Tiwi Beach Hotel. And I was very excited, I was very jumpy because I was still young. And I was like, I'm in Mombasa, I'm in Coast. Okay, I was young. I'm still young, I'm 20. Still young. Just like my grandfather is still young. So yeah, and one thing my dad told me, he saw me I was jumpy, and he told me, just maintain your energy. Just go, if you're going to swim, go swim in one place and just cool down a bit. Now me and my energetic self, like the dog, I went to one of the pools, one of the slides, and there was a sign there that was written, "Don't climb the slide the wrong way." But I'm Tendo, I'm Mageria. I mean, so I climb up the slide the wrong way, and I fall and I slip. I hit my chin on the tiles and I break my teeth. I think you can still see the dent. I got a feeling though. And I didn't feel pain, but my first reaction was I looked into the water and was like, where are my teeth? Where are my teeth? So I went to the room and I looked at my dad, and I could already tell that he was very disappointed. He's like, what have you done now? I've told you to calm down a bit, and look at how you're coming to me right now. Your teeth are broken. I had a good experience in Mombasa, but the breeze kept on disturbing my teeth. So I'm not really a talkative person. I prefer to keep to myself, even though my father has made himself available at all times. I prefer to keep to myself, deal with my problems alone, and yeah, we see what will happen in the future. But this one day I was 18 actually, 2 years ago. I was going through a tough time in my life, still trying to figure out what's my purpose in life, who am I as a man. And I remember that night I was really struggling in my room. And something told me, go downstairs and talk to your father. So I went downstairs. Before I could even finish uttering, Dad, I want to talk to you, I burst into tears. I don't know why, they just came out. It's okay, thank you. So yeah, we go upstairs, I talk to him, and he gives me some of the best advice that I've gotten. He told me, always stay positive in life. And as you can see, he's always a happy man. He has a happy family. I'm a happy son. all because of my father here. And the next piece of advice he gave me was, you should call your grandfather and tell him what happened. Now, growing up, me and my grandfather, we were close. We used to meet during family functions, but we never really got to bond. And this was a great opportunity for us to do that. So I called him. He was in the office.
This time is different.
Before the end of the second beep, he had picked up. He's like, yes, my grandson. He's a man of God, so the first thing he always says is, praise God. I'm like, amen. Amen. So yeah, I tell him, Guka, I'm going through a lot in my life right now, and I would like for you to mentor me and teach me, and I would like to have lunch with you tomorrow. The first thing he told me was, I will clear my schedule for you tomorrow. Come to my office and we shall talk more. From that day, he promised to mentor me. He promised to take care of me he promised to take care of me and be there for me whenever I needed him. And of late, we've actually been mending that. We've been creating a bond between each other. I think I'll let him tell you more about that.